Hi everyone, welcome back to the Torok channel. Today we have a brave new guitar to unbox. We are in the category of the big brand, small price guitars, and this time we are going to unbox an ESP LTD guitar. ESP LTD, of course, is a world-known brand, especially since they have Metallica guitar players in their roster. If you want to play metal, these are the most iconic guitar players you might think about, even though maybe they are not your favorite. But ESP LTD is known for making very good guitars, very good quality. So let's discover today if this very good quality can be found on the lower price guitars you can find. Here we go for the unboxing. Okay, and that's the first very good point. This guitar is coming with a soft case, not very thick, but it does exist. It's here, and maybe you have not seen it, but the card box was a bit torn, just on the edge, so I think the guitar didn't suffer, but maybe your guitar could suffer from being carried from the cellar to your house. And thanks to this soft case, which is not super thick but which does exist, well, it's protected. So you've got the tools that you might need to set this guitar up. Okay, classic solution sheet. And even though this guitar is coming in a soft case, well, you've got the classic protection that you would find if the guitar was just in a card box. So, pretty good job. I think they really do care about the beginners who would buy this guitar. And yeah, you've got really all the protections that you need to carry a guitar from point A to point B. Maybe that's a bit too much to say, but anyway. Okay, I have unboxed, demoed and reviewed guitars that are much more expensive and that didn't have such an amount of protection. Okay, the guitar itself, you've got something really very super classic, not to say basic in terms of finishes. Just something completely black, nothing on the edge. Okay, very classic black, maybe some would say boring black. Oh, I just noticed that, yeah, this volume pot has a serious grip. Yeah, might even be a bit too much, but at least it's not gonna work, it's not gonna move, sorry, without you to ask it to do so. Okay, apart from that, so 24 frets. Okay, classic ESP tuners. If you pay attention to those tuners, okay, look at this. Well, that's the sign that those tuners are looking like Goto, and I know that in general, ESP tuners are made by Goto. This one are not ESP but LTD tuners, so I don't know. The guitar itself is assembled in China. Oh, I think you can read it. Okay. It feels correct in terms of weight. I would say something like 3.3, 3.4 kilograms. I'm going to check it out, of course. Okay, with such a basic and simple finish, it would be a crime to see a finish flow, and that's not what you have. I think the guitar is out of tune. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Edges of the frets look very nice. Okay, no problem. I think I will have no problem. Maybe you can see it as well, but it looks like this fretboard is really very dry, which is no surprise for me. I mean, and that's something I have noticed. Guitars that are coming from China generally have a super dry fretboard. Don't ask me why, but just something I have noticed. Okay, well, all in all, the guitar looks cool. So what I'm gonna do, of course, is play the demo, the same as I've played for the Ibanez Geo, so you will have a point of comparison between these two if you want to know if the tones are the same, if the tones are okay, and the one you will prefer. I'm gonna change the strings first, because I'm gonna play with the exact same strings as in the Ibanez Geo, Daddario EXL 110, so a 10 to 46 string gauge. I'm gonna oil the fretboard. I'm gonna check if... I don't know if the frets need some polish. Not that scratchy. Not as scratchy as on the Ibanez. But okay, I'm gonna do the setup and pretty much everything. Go for the demo. And I'll be back for the first out. Here we go. Okay, so what you've just heard is this LTD MH-10, and of course we're going to talk about what you couldn't see here, so the demo. But just before we go there, I would like to ask you subscribe to this channel if it's not already done, leave thumbs up, share my videos on socials, and if you order anything from my partner Thoman, please use my partner link that's going to be in the video description down below. Whatever you order, that's going to help me a lot make more content on the channel. You have to know that when you click my link, you are on the French page of Thoman. So if you want to change the language, you just have to click on the little French flag on top right of the screen, choose your own language, and there you are. Now, if you want to make 100% sure that you are already on my partner page, you can use my list of highly recommended gear. That's the second link in the video description. There you will see my logo, my banner, and everything that identifies the channel. So you just have to choose whatever you want, even if it's not in the list. It's gonna work anyway. Okay, so thanks in advance for your help. And now let's go back to this guitar. So, start as usual with the headstock. So this time you've got a black headstock with a black body. So is it a matching headstock? Is it a matching body? I'll let you choose and decide. You've got an ABS plastic nut. Not so bad, I would say. The cut here is a tiny bit rough, but it has not stopped me from playing at any moment, so it's okay. You've got those LTD branded tuners. In general, LTD tuners are made by Goto. I don't know if these ones are made by Goto as well. All I know is they're very good, so I think you will not need to change them very quickly. The frets, it's the opposite of what I had on the Ibanez. You know, this time they are very well polished, they are not scratchy at all, as you can hear, okay? But if you let your fingers glide on the edge of the neck, you will sense that it's a little bit rough, so maybe the polish job has not been perfectly done here, but it has again not stopped me from playing and having fun with this guitar, and really I had a lot of fun with this guitar. It's a very, very good player. Okay, as I said during the unboxing, the pots have got a nice grip, so that's a very good point. The three-way blade is working normally. The bridge, classic tunematic, you can put your palm very comfortably, it's okay. For the rest, well, the only thing I have to mention about this classic black glossy finish, and that's something that's worse for every black glossy finish, be careful with scratches, okay? Glossy finish, you have always some light scratches are gonna appear when you use your pick, or even sometimes when you scratch with your nails or something. But on a black glossy guitar, you will see it very, very easily. And I mean, really be careful with that. That's one of the downside of a black glossy finish, especially on an affordable guitar, when the painting is not the same quality as if it was 1000 series, for instance. Okay, apart from that, well, the neck is a tiny bit thicker than what I'm used to seeing on LTD guitars. If I do compare this with my LTD, it's another Edge series. Maybe you will see it, but yeah, I can see by myself that this one is maybe 1 millimeter thicker than on this 400 series. Not a problem, but you still got the U shape. You just have to know it, okay? It's probably 21 to 23 millimeters thick, something like that. It remains comfortable, but I do prefer, of course, the neck I have on the 400 series. I like this 20 to 22 with a U shape on a matte finish. Now the neck is comfortable, it's versatile, and it glides very well, so no problem. Again, as you have a set and finish, if it's out there and your palms are getting wet, you will not be stuck to the guitar, you can still keep playing. Okay, all in all, well, the guitar is balanced, it's 3.4 kilograms, it plays nice, it stays in tune correctly. It's not perfect, of course, because as long as you have a plastic nut, well, but at least it doesn't hold the string, then release it as the Ibanez was doing. when you play, it doesn't move that much. Now when you put the guitar on its stand late in the evening and you come back in the early morning and you take the guitar back, well, it has moved a little bit, so you just have to check the tuning. But okay, it's very correct, especially in regard of the price, 250 euros once again. Okay, very good quality guitar. Okay, now it's time to listen to these two pickups alone. One thing I just want to mention about them, they are the LTD LH-100 series of pickups. I think the only difference with the LH-150 that come on the LTD 200 series is that those pickups cannot be splitted, so you've just got the choice between bridge, middle and neck pickup. So that's what we're gonna hear right now. Okay, does this guitar have a neck dive? Let's check it out. Well, obviously not. It's very well balanced, so you can play standing very comfortably. Okay, so as a conclusion, in order to sum up my opinion about this guitar, I'm gonna give it grades, just like I did for the Ibanez Geo and like I will do for the next guitars in the big brand small price category, so you have some points of comparison and you can choose the one that best suits you. Okay, I will start with the tone because we've just heard this guitar played alone, and you know what, I really enjoy the tone of those LTD 100 series pickups. They are fat enough, they've got a good level of output, but when you play clean, they're not crunching that much, and that's something you can easily set up on your amp, whatever amp you're using. The only downside, the only thing I will reproach them is not to be splittable. And I mean, that's a marketing decision from LTD, I guess, because they've got the exact same tone as the pickups you would find on some LTD 200 series that are the LH-150. And I think that's the only difference. The 150 can be splitted, the 100 cannot. Too bad, but that's a choice LTD has made. So if I take that in account, I will give a 7. If those pickups had been splittable, I would give 8 on 10, considering that we are on a 250 euros guitar. Of course, if you put the same pickups in a 600 euros guitar, I mean, my grade is not gonna be that generous. Okay, but for this one, 7 for the tone, great. Let's talk now about the playability. Okay, the neck is comfortable, even though, just like on the Ibanez, I wish it was a tiny bit thinner, but okay, that's just me. Apart from that, the shape is good, satin finish, so really you can shred on this thing. Clearly, if you want to learn shredding, you can do it on this thing. The frets are polished, and that's a very nice point. As I said, the edges are a tiny bit rough, but as I also said, it did not disturb me at any moment when I was playing, so it will not disturb you either. The access to the 24th fret is a tiny bit complicated because of the neck hill that's here. Well, I mean, you can access the 24th fret on the high E and on the B, a bit more complicated on the G. Now, if you want to go to the 24th fret on the low E, really, it's very uncomfortable unless you have really big hands. But really, if you're not a beginner, I would be really surprised that you start playing here. You're gonna start playing there, alright? But okay, that's the only downside. Apart from that, the guitar is very well balanced, it's comfortable, it's okay. I think, and maybe that's just my opinion, that it's a tiny bit more comfortable than the Ibanez, even though the nut is 42 millimeters instead of 43. So for playing this kind of classic chords, you know, that you will learn when you start playing, if you have big fingers, you will be a bit less comfortable with a 42 millimeters nut than with a 43 millimeters nut. I said a little bit, but trust me, you sense it. Okay, so I'm gonna go for a good 8 for the playability. Now, the aesthetics. Well, I mean, it's very complicated to find something more basic. I mean, LTD, they decided to spend money on, I guess, the quality of the guitar, the quality of the wood, because you've got basswood, and nowadays, the cheapest guitar are no more coming with a basswood body. You find poplar, you find some other types of affordable woods, but basswood is not such a cheap wood. I mean, it depends upon where it's coming from, but I mean, it's a good wood. It sounds a bit warmer than mahoganies. It sounds a bit more bassier. You got more low end and something with mahogany body. But yeah, it's really nothing bad. You've got a maple neck. Okay, I mean, if I don't pay too much attention to the finish, I think overall this guitar might be a little bit better than the Ibanez, but if we're just talking about the aesthetics, I mean, you can do anything more simple. Now, there's no flow, there's nothing bad. I mean, I cannot be really very generous with something that simple, so I will give it a 5 and that's it. Now, if I have to give a global grade to this guitar, well, you know, I've had fun playing it. I have enjoyed playing it. The quality looks better in terms of components, in terms of, you know, the middle parts. The parts look better, the pickups are better, but okay, the aesthetics, I mean, that's it. But, you know, sometimes you buy a guitar because it looks cool and you're super disappointed when you play it. And sometimes you spot a guitar that's really very common and you play in and you say, oh yeah, I like it. And it's this kind of guitar. It's the kind of guitar, if you're in a guitar store, you will not spot it among all the others with different colors, with something better aesthetics, you know. But if you trust the brand LTD and you decide to try it, even though it looks so common, well, I think it will be a keeper. So for all those reasons, and that's going to be the same grade for a beginner or for a mod project, I'm going to give it a 7 for a global grade, because really it's a good guitar, and if I had enough room, I think I could keep it for a mod project myself. Apart from the nut that's still plasticky and that deserves to be improved, but you can keep the rest of the hardware as such, and maybe you can have fun with painting it another way. Okay, so well, thanks for watching this video. Next video is going to be about another guitar, but we're going to change category. It's not going to be a big brand, small price. It's going to be something different. It's my Christmas gift to myself. You will discover it in the next video, so stay tuned to the Torok channel. See you soon!